We're in Italy. It's a super cool piece of history.
As they say over here, lasagna of materials from all over.
And they do not make them like they used to. It is New Year's Eve and we are walking to the Colosseum. We're doing a tour of the Colosseum today.
We bought our tickets a few months in advance. It's quite complicated actually to work out the ticketing system here. You can buy direct tickets for the Colosseum. They only release a few though if you're wanting to go to the arena area on the floor or into the underground tunnels, so they're very hard to get. You can rock up. You really don't want to do that though. There'll be huge lines around the Colosseum. Or you can pre-purchase through a tour company, which is what we did to get fast access and to get access to the arena floor. You hear a bit about the history then as well, so hopefully it'll be a fun tour to do. Our guides just told us about all of these stones. They're all from different countries. They're all imported from Turkey, Greece, Portugal. They brought all the best to Rome. They look similar, but they're from all over what was the Roman Empire at the time.
We're exploring the Roman Forum, headed for Palatine Hill. You can see remnants of thousands of years of building. The grey areas here were from before Jesus' time, and layers upon layers. Our guide said it's like a historical lasagna, and it truly is.
The columns missing from up here are all around us in other buildings. So what happened is when one building fell, they reused the materials. You can see over there in other palaces or churches or basilicas. Even in the Vatican, when we visit the Vatican, we're going to see a lot of material from around Rome that was used to build the Vatican.
Unlike Greece, they're encouraging us to feel the materials and touch. In Greece you couldn't touch anything, but here in Rome they're cool with it. And a lot of it's Greek marble. This is Palatine Hill, and where the word palace comes from. It's huge, built by emperors.
This basilica with the 3 arches is stunning. It's 1700 years old. It was originally a public building, and then when Christianity became popular, buildings were reclaimed as churches and then used as basilicas. They were called basilicas earlier, but that wasn't a Christian word at the time. The building on the right there, the white basilica, was only 400 years old, but 70% of the materials are from the basilica on the left, which is a lot larger, obviously. It's huge, actually, but the materials were reused for the new one.
The Arc of Triumph, right next door to the Colosseum. Going in. These are the gate numbers you can see just at the top. Still here after 2,000 years. There is 80 gates in and out that were used during the time of operation. The tour guide just said that during the pandemic he came in and cleaned these walls with a pressure washer. He's a archaeologist. We're going in through security.
This is our time. This is the Gladiator's gate, and we're going out onto the arena floor. Here we are out on the arena floor. Got 70,000 people up in the stands looking down. You can use your imagination to see the seats and the steps and everything throughout the Colosseum. All of those materials were removed and used in churches around Rome. So parts of the Colosseum are scattered around Rome.
This is the underground. The floor over top of it. Trapdoors, lions, slaves, gladiators. Underground tunnels got them all in. This is Gladiator's Gate, where all the gladiators would wander in for battle. They didn't all die. They were very expensive athletes. Owners or investors in the gladiators wanted their men protected, so there was actually referees in the old times, and they would stop the fight if their guy was getting too beat up. Heading up to the next level.
Inside the Colosseum there are 4 levels of seating. Down the bottom 2 levels were mainly for all the dignitaries, the important people. On the 3rd row in the wooden seats were the women, and up the top on the 4th row finally were the kids, because they weighed less, so they had to sit up the top. Same with the women, they were on the 3rd tier in the wooden seats because they weighed less than all of the men.
These are the original seats from in the Colosseum, and you can see graffiti such as this one, which is Tis Marcellus, which is Go Marcellus, someone's favourite gladiator. It was a great tour of an awesome location. That's a big check on our trip of Europe. Into this Italian restaurant in the Monte district, just not far from the Colosseum. We can street watch. We're having Italian. It's good? Very good. We've all gone the carbonara. I was getting into it. How's it taste, Al? Good. Alright, first Italian pizza. Nice thin crust. Wow, very good. This is the We Run Rome 10k and 5k run on New Year's Eve. Fair marathon happening. It's nearly midnight, and so we decided to back up again on the Colosseum. We're heading out to see some fireworks. Some are going a little bit early. This is just coming out of apartments and on top of apartments.
It's 5 minutes till midnight. It's the Colosseum. There's a stat going on. There's people with lanterns and fireworks coming off apartments. Let's see what happens here in 5 minutes.
Closest Italian friends. It's early morning, sun is rising, and we're heading to the Vatican. There's a little bit of rain overnight. We took the day off on New Year's Day, and now we're doing the pilgrimage to check it out, the Vatican. This is pretty cool. You can see St. Peter's Basilica there. We're heading up for another tour. We've booked a tour, which is a pretty good idea given this is the lines at 8:30 upon open, and it's right down around that corner. This is the access into the Vatican museums.
We've just entered the foyer of the museums of the Vatican. We'll do some filming as we can, but you can't actually film all of the areas, particularly the Sistine Chapel is not open for photographs or filming or even speaking. It's a quiet space in there. But we are going through the museums and then St. Peter's Basilica at the end.
This is the Pinecone Courtyard. Named after this giant bronze pine cone.
Each pope has their own coat of arms designed for them. This one, you can see the 2 keys being crossed, which is in every coat of arms, which goes back to St. Peter, who was given the keys by Jesus. There's many courtyards scattered around the Vatican Museum area. This one being a private courtyard of one of the popes years back. And it includes coffins of many people from ancient times.
This one is 2,000 years old and a very old statue that was saved by some of the masters. This is the room of the animals. Hercules. This is very rare to still be intact, a bronze statue of Hercules. The fact that this was never melted down is amazing, and many of these grace the front of the Acropolis and many other buildings around the times, and this one has survived here in the Vatican Museum.
At our Colosseum tour, our guide told us that so many materials from ancient Rome were used to make the Vatican. So as you walk through, I can't help but wonder which materials came from the Roman city and from the Colosseum. Could have been the marble on the floor, could have been the steps, materials for the walls. He said there was a lot that came here to build Vatican City. These mosaics have been transported here in big pieces. They cut them out and moved them. Might have been from Rome, Greece, or any of the nations that Rome conquered. They pilfered everything and brought the best of the best into Rome.
These tapestries are all hand woven with coloured thread. This one's from the 1600s, showing a powerful pope who ruled over the Vatican. We're going through the Museum of the Tapestries, and this museum, or the series of museums, are all the artworks collected by the popes at the time who ruled, and they collected what interested them. This one shows Jesus' resurrection and his eyes follow you, built over 7 years.
A gallery of the tapestries that were all used on the walls throughout the Vatican City, and they were used to insulate the walls. I guess before insulation was used, but pretty clever to use the artwork to keep warm inside the buildings. In this tapestry you can see the conclave, which is the election of the next pope, with the ballots being counted on the right hand side on the table, and some of the bishops on the left there.
The gallery of the maps, 350 feet long.
This map shows our next destination. So we've got Roma where we are now, and then we're heading up next to Florence, and then we'll do a day trip over to Pisa, which is over on the west coast to the left.
We are entering the Raphael rooms, dedicated to Raphael, who died at 37 years of age. This one is the School of Athens, where Raphael represented philosophy. This one has Pythagoras, geography. There are lots of private chapels like this one of the popes. St. Peter's Square, and there's pilgrims arriving for the Jubilee.
We're entering St. Peter's Basilica via the Holy Door. That's the only door that's open today. It's quite busy. The Holy Door is just opened during the year of the Jubilee. We're here with just a few days left, and then after that it's closed up, boarded up for the next 25 years until the next Jubilee year. There's so much gold leaf just everywhere. It's the dominant colour within the basilica. There's the dome.
It is huge, shaped like a cross, many altars, statues, artwork. This is the main altar for St. Peter's Basilica. You can see chairs are down. They did New Year's Day Mass yesterday. There's a Mass underway, the 12 o'clock Mass. There's a few a day free to come, but you just have to line up. Worth noting though that the Masses are conducted in Latin, the traditional ancient language. Steph was really wanting to do a candle here, and we told her that she had to download the app and then Bluetooth connect, which we all found very funny to tell her. We're heading out now to St. Peter's Square, and we're going to go down to the crypts, which are free and included, which have the tombs of past popes. Some are quite plain and some are quite ornate. This is Pope Benedetto 15. Pope Benedict.
Benedict was the Pope when we were married, and my grandparents organised a blessing from him that we have at home for our wedding, on our wedding day.
This is the tomb of St. Peter, underneath St. Peter's Basilica.
Behind me is St. Peter's Basilica, which we've just exited. We've spent a good 4 hours in the museums and then in the Basilica. We went down to the catacombs. A really worthwhile visit. It was a very special place and we learned a lot too. Very much worthwhile having a guide and doing the tour that way, because you learn so much that you wouldn't otherwise.
This is a Swiss guard guarding the Pope's entrance. You have to be under 25 to join the Swiss Guard, and you can only be there 2 years. St. Peter's Square. There are no cats or anything dogs we've seen, but these seagulls, they are as big as cats and dogs. They are huge and dominate Rome. We're having pasta.
I'm trying to find the pasta.
A bit cheesy.
So much cheese.
Lucky we didn't order the extra cheese.
After cheese pizza.
Yeah. Has got carbonara and Jed's on the lasagna. Looks alright. Yep. Carbonara. This is the second carbonara we've had. Jed's branched out, but it's too good.
This is the sort of little Italian street I'd imagine wandering down. Shops, restaurants, heaps of people, stuff going on. Good afternoon walk.
We're heading up to Piazza Navona. Still got a Christmas market going, even into the start of the new year. We're going in for some roasted chestnuts for the boys. We've got roasted chestnuts, Harry's going, let's go. How's the taste?
Not amazing.
No. Alright, Steph.
I've already gone, I couldn't eat
And she spat it out. Jed?
I've had worse.
Had worse? Alex?
No chance.
No chance. Right, so got my little chestnut. It's like a nice vomit. Either we got the worst roasted chestnut guy in our life, or I have no idea why the Americans do that. That was ridiculous.
They smell good. They smelt alright, but ooh, not my taste.
Throughout Rome are these water fountains. The Romans were very good engineers, so throughout the city there's running water constantly. I'm hoping it's not recycled, and you can just go up and get yourself a drink. Some of them you can block and shoot out the top and drink from, not this one though. Short walk from the square, Piazza Navona, is the Parthenon. Pretty good nick compared to the ones we've seen in Greece. It's in very good condition. There is a line again to get inside, so we're not going into this one. We're just going to head off home and then we're done for the day. So that is the St. Peter's Basilica, and we've seen the square, we've had lunch, and we're finished with the Parthenon. This is the district we actually live in.
We've gotten up early this morning to go and check out the Trevi Fountain and the Spanish Steps. They're renowned for being areas that are super busy, so we wanted to get up before the crowds, get there, enjoy them, take some photos, and we thought we'd have breakfast afterwards today.
It is just on 7:30 a.m. and the Trevi Fountain, there's a lot of people on it. Not too bad though. Amazing detail.
It's about 7:30 and it's still busy. There were actually lights on when we got here, but they just turned them off, which was actually noticeable. It's a very pretty fountain. It strikes me that the water is just so beautiful. It's such a perfect colour.
Alright, we're going to flick a coin over a shoulder for luck. Let's go, Al. Don't hit anyone. Did it. The more you look, the more detail you see. Just rough detail and obviously very chiseled horses and men. I think it's a Pegasus and a merman. He's got a bit of a tail going on. And then that water. This was actually a palace and it's now an institute, educational. Alright, we're trying our luck at the Spanish Steps. It's what, about 8 o'clock, Steph?
About that.
Early again. Not as busy as the Trevi Fountain. This one, I don't know what the big deal is. It's steps, they're up, made by the Spanish. Put an label on it. Palace in the background. Pretty quiet.
One thing I love about Rome is all of the squares that you come upon. So there's tiny little streets that you're walking around, which are actually major streets. They've got a lot happening in them. They're not just back alleys. There's people everywhere, restaurants, shops, etc. And then you come along a plaza like this. Obviously this is a big one by the Spanish Steps, but there's little squares like this all over Rome. You just sort of happen upon them and there's things going on and they're really sweet.
Come down to the Jewish Ghetto to try
Artichokes.
So
Artichoke two ways. We've got the Roman style and then we've got the Jewish style, which is a fried version.
So the Jewish style they flatten and fry, and the Roman style apparently is baked with mint. And then we've got some bruschetta as well. Hopefully it's better than the roasted chestnuts.
It's good. Yeah, it's tasty.
There we go. It's kind of like potato.